Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you how to make this unisex mesh shirts with buttons. We're going to be using a 4.0mm hook, 2 balls of yarn together, a measuring tape, scissors, yarn needles, and stitch markers. So yeah, I like to remove my yarn from the middle because it makes the yarn much more easier to use since I'll be pairing 2 balls together. So that's just works for me. You can use it anyhow you please. To start the front panel, I'll be chaining 50. This is to fit a size small to medium. 50 chains for me is 10.5 inches, but make sure to use your measuring tape. I'll show you as we go along in the video. Once you have your 50 chains completed, we're going to skip one chain and work a single crochet into the second chain. For this row 1, we're going to be doing just single crochets. So keep working your single crochet until you reach the end of the row, and I'll show you how to continue row 2. I'm now at the end of my row 1. For row 2, you're going to be chaining 4. Chain 4, turn your work, skip one stitch and work a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1 and skip another stitch and work a double crochet into the next stitch. For this row 2, we're going to be skipping a stitch, chain 1 and working a double crochet. You're going to keep doing this until you have 45 rows. So to start your row 3, you're going to chain 4. So whenever you want to start a new row, you chain 4 and repeat row 1. Now I have my 45 rows completed, and I'm going to be working a decrease on one side. So we're going to be working a decrease on just one side of the shirt. To start your decrease, you're going to be chaining 2. Once you have your 2 chained, you're going to turn your work and work a double crochet into the next stitch. So we're not going to be working a double crochet in the very first stitch. We'll be working double crochet into the next stitch like so. That's your first decrease, and it's going to be our decrease row 1. You chain 1 and continue working your double crochet like you've done before. So 1 double crochet, chain 1, and keep doing that until we get to the end of the decrease row 1, and I'll show you how to continue. I'm now at the end of my decrease row 1. I'm not going to be working a double crochet into the 3rd chain of our chain 4. I'm sorry, this video is a bit too fast, so I'm going to do a shorter clip to explain the parts that I omitted, so just bear with me. So for the next decrease row, you're going to be chaining 4 to start and work a double crochet into the next row. I mean the next stitch, not the next row. And you keep doing this until you have just 2 stitches left at the end of decrease row 2, and I'll show you how to continue. I am now at the end of my decrease row 2. We're going to be working a decrease. So chain 1 and go into the next stitch and start a double crochet stitch. By this time you pull through only 2 loops and you have 2 loops on your hook. So start another double crochet and go into the very last stitch, and you also pull through the first 2 loops. Pull through the first 2 loops, and then you have 3 loops on your hook. Then you pull through all the 3 loops together, and there you have our second decrease. So remember that we're going to be working the decrease only on one side of our panel. So to start the next row 3, we're going to chain 2. So we're going to start again with a decrease, chain 2 and go into the next stitch and work a double crochet. So we're going to be repeating row 1 and row 2, our decrease row 1 and row 2, till you have 7 decrease rows. So just repeat this video if you need more clarification. Just you can pause or watch these particular parts to get how to continue making your decrease. and I'll meet you back once I have 7. This is what your work should look like now. So you can see that we only have the decrease on one side of our panel and the other side is just straight. I'm just going to go ahead and finish off. To finish off, you're going to just chain 1 and then cut off your yarn. Once you have that done, we're going to start working on the side of the panel. So we're going to be creating the button part, the part that we're going to have the buttons on the shirt. So to start that, we're going to attach our yarn at the bottom of the shirt. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach my yarn like so. So just attach your yarn to the very bottom of the panel, and once you have your yarn attached, so this is how I prefer to attach my yarn. I just put in the yarn and tie, and we're going to start by working single crochets on the sides of the panel. So you start your single crochet row, and you're going to be working 2 single crochets in every space in between the sides, like I am doing. So just work 2 single crochets on the sides and keep doing that until you get to the stitch before the decrease. So the last stitch we did before we started our decrease row, that is where we're going to stop working our single crochet. So just go ahead and keep doing your 2 single crochets in the space, and I'll show you how to continue. Now I'm on the last space before the decrease rows, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the first row of our single crochet row. So for this you can also put a stitch marker to mark the point where we started our decrease from, to avoid any confusion. So we're just going to continue making our single crochet for 4 more rows. Yeah, so we're going to have a total of 5 rows of single crochet. So to start our second row, you're just going to chain 1, turn your work, and continue working our single crochet until we have 5 more rows. So, 4 more rows. So we're going to be doing a total of 5, like I said. So yeah, just keep working single crochet until you have 5 rows in total, and I'm going to show you how to continue our panel. So yeah, I'll meet you back once I'm done with mine. Now I have my first panel completed. Yeah, so this is what your work should look like for our front panel. So we're going to be making 2 of this. Yeah, so I already have my second panel completed, which I'm going to show you now. So we're going to repeat what we did with our first panel, and I'm going to show you how to start the button part for the second panel. But this time around I'm going to be putting buttonholes on the sides, just on the sides like we did earlier. But the first one didn't have any buttonholes, the second one is going to have a buttonhole. So I'm going to show you how to put buttonholes on the second one, but just repeat the exact same thing we did for the first panel. So because we're going to be needing 2 panels for the front part, so yeah, I'm just going to show you how to put the buttonholes. So I just did 3 rows of single crochet on the side before I start the buttonholes. So now I'm going to show you how to begin the buttonholes. For the button space, we're going to do 14 single crochets. Yeah, I'm going to be counting off camera. So I did 14 single crochets before the first buttonhole space. So just go ahead and do 14 single crochets, and I'll meet you back once I have my 14 done. Now I have my 14 single crochets done, and we're just going to go ahead and chain 2 for our first buttonhole space, skip 2 stitches, go into the third stitch and make a single crochet. And now we have our first buttonhole space. We're just going to continue doing 14 single crochets, and before we create our next buttonhole space. So 14 single crochets, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and go into the third stitch with a single crochet. This is how we're going to be making our buttonhole space up until we get to the end of the row. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and show you the second buttonhole space before I go ahead and continue off camera. So once you have your buttonhole space completed, I'm going to show you how to continue with our panels. So I'm going to finish off camera now, and I'll meet you back once I have my buttonhole space done. So if you have 4 stitches left like me, just go ahead and work the last single crochet in the last stitch of our buttonhole row. So yeah, this is what your work should be looking like. For row 5, you're going to chain 1, turn your work and go into the buttonhole space. The first stitch, and make 1 single crochet, then go into the buttonhole space and make 1 single crochet in the buttonhole space. Continue working single crochets until you get to the next buttonhole space, and you also be working 1 single crochet in our chain 2 space. So every time you get to the chain 2 space, you would work 1 single crochet into the space and continue working single crochets. At this point, I ran out of my second ball of yarn finished, so I'm just going to go ahead and attach another ball of yarn to continue my work. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly show you guys how I attach my yarn securely to continue my project. So I'm basically struggling on camera to fix the yarn, so I just had to really cut off the part that was tangled. So yeah, just put the yarn on top of each other like this, and use one of what the strand you're trying to attach, wrap it around the other side 3 times like this, 3 times. Then you tie. Once you tie, you just pull the 2 ends together like this and pull. Yes, once you pull, it becomes very secure, like it won't come off, guys. It will not cut. So just cut off the excess parts like this, and then just continue your work. Yeah, that's all. So I'm just going to continue working my single crochet. Like I said, once you get to the buttonhole space, just make 1 single crochet in the chain 2 space. 1 single crochet in the chain 2 space. It's very important that we do this right. So just continue doing this until we finish our row 5, and then we'll have our second panel ready. So yeah, we are now done with our front panel. So I'm going to do a quick measurement to show you guys what I have. So one side of the panel should be around 10.5 inches in total. So both panels should be 10.5 stitches. So I couldn't really show it on camera, but there we have 10.5 inches for each side. So now we're going to start working on the back panel. I'm going to show you how to do the back panel. For the back panel, we're going to chain 100 for the back panel. The chain of 100 for me is going to be 21 inches in total. So I'm just going to go ahead and chain 100 and I'll meet you back. I have my 100 chains done, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with a single crochet. I'm going to skip one stitch and go into the next stitch with a single crochet and keep working single crochets for our first row. This is the same thing we did on our front panel, so just repeat this again for the back panel. So just keep working single crochets until the end of the first row and I'll meet you back. Once you have your single crochet row completed, we're going to go ahead and start row 2 by chaining 4. Once you have 4 chains, turn your work, skip the very next stitch, go into the third stitch with a double crochet, chain 1. This is the exact same thing we did during the first panel, so just going to repeat the same pattern until we have 52 rows in total. So for our front panel too, we also have 52 rows in total, so we're just going to do the same identical thing for the back panel. My back panel is now completed. My total of 52 rows is done, and I'm just going to go ahead and lay the front panels on it. Yes, so lay both front panels on the back panel. At this point you can just choose whatever side you feel you want to be the front and the back side of your work. So once you lay your front panels on the back panel, we're going to be using our yarn needle and some yarn to sew the top of the panels together. That's the neckline towards the shoulder. We're going to sew the panels together first from the shoulder, just like I'm doing. So I'm just going to quickly show you guys how I sew the shoulder parts together. If you watch my previous tutorials, you're going to see how I prefer to join my work together. So once you join both sides at the shoulder, I'm going to show you how to continue our work. So I'll meet you back once I have my both sides sewn together. I am now done sewing the shoulder parts of our work. So both sides are done. I'm now going to work on the neckline for the collar. So I'm just going to turn my work and start working on the collar of our shirt. So to start the collar, we're going to be working single crochets across the neckline. So I'm just going to start by attaching my yarn to the very just attach your yarn the way I'm about to show you on screen, and then we'll start working towards our collar. Yeah, so we're going to be doing single crochets for the collar part of our shirt. So we're just going to start by working one single crochet in the very first stitch, like this. So I'm just going to chain 1, go back into the same stitch and work a single crochet. So I'm going to be doing single crochet across the neckline, just like I'm showing you guys. So just follow the video accordingly, and trust me, you're going to have a beautiful piece once you are done. So just keep working the single crochet. I'm just going to go quiet now off screen and allow you guys watch how I walk through the collar part of our work. So in this piece, you're going to be doing 2 single crochets in the space all across. 2 single crochets in the space. So whenever you're going to walk into the space, you do 2 single crochets. So just like I said, follow the video exactly as I show you guys, and trust me, you're not going to get confused or miss your way. And if you get confused, you can just pause the video or rewind the video back to where you need clarification. So I'm just going to do that and meet you guys back once I am done. So once you get to the first corner of our neckline, we're going to be working 1 single crochet on top of the double crochet stitch and 1 single crochet in the chain space. So right now we're going to be doing 1 single crochet in the chain 1 space and 1 single crochet on top of the double crochet stitch. That is when you get to the first corner, which is towards the back panel of the neckline. So if you've done your work correctly, you're going to see what I'm talking about. So now I am done with the first row of our single crochet for the collar. So just going to chain 1 and continue working single crochets all across. I did a total of 13 rows for the collar. So you just repeat the single crochet till you have 13 rows in total for the collar, and I'll meet you back once I have the collar done and show you what your work should look like. I have my 13 rows completed, and this is what our collar should look like. So yeah, you can see that our work is coming together pretty nicely, and right now we're going to start working on the sleeves. We'll be working on the sleeves as a separate panel from the shirt. So I'm just quickly going to show you what the sleeves look like. I did a total of 15 inches for the width of the sleeves, and I have 8 inches for the length of the sleeves. My starting chain for the sleeves is 75, so I did 75 chains for the sleeves. We're going to start by skipping 4 chains from your hook, go into the 5th chain with a double crochet. For this sleeves, we're not going to be doing a single crochet row first. We're just going to start with double crochet pattern. It's just the same thing we did with our other panels. So just go ahead and work your double crochet chain 1, skip a stitch and work double crochet in the next stitch. So in total I did 14 rows for the sleeves in total. So just keep repeating your pattern until you have 14 rows, and I'm going to meet you back as soon as I am done with mine off screen. Now I have completed my sleeves panel, and I'm just going to show you how you're going to align the sleeves with the body of our shirt. At this point, you need to put your shirt, make sure your shirt is on the right side out. It's very important. And you find the middle point of your sleeves and put a stitch marker. So once you put your stitch marker in the middle point, make sure when you fold, the 2 sides are equal. So you're going to attach that middle point to the very point where you sew your panels together at the shoulder. just like I did in the video. And you would make sure the sides are well aligned. Do not pull the sleeves, or look like it naturally falls on the body of the shirt. And you can also put stitch marker on the two ends to attach it to the body of your sleeves. So I counted like 14 stitches from the middle point, where I now finally attached my stitch marker. So you can count 14 on one side, and the other side you count 13. But you can also use a measuring tape to measure, to make sure the sleeves is 18 inches, 15 inches, sorry, for the width, like I said earlier, 15 inches. So I'm just going to finish up attaching my sleeves to the body of our shirt, and I'll show you what to do next. So all you need to attach is just your needle and yarn needle and some yarn. Just attach, sew down the line, and then I'll show you how to complete the shirt. Okay, now I'm done joining my sleeves. So I have 15 inches like I mentioned earlier. This is because I want my armhole to be 7.5 on each side when I fold. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same on the second side of the sleeves. And yeah, I have sewn both my sleeves together, and you see that the wrong side is on the wrong side out, and the right side is aligned with the right side of the shirt. To join the body of the shirt, you're going to just fold the shirt together. Make sure the right side is on the right side together, and the wrong side is aligned with the wrong side out. So we're going to sew the sleeves first, and then go ahead to sew the sides of the shirt together. So do not sew straight at once. Make sure you sew the sleeves first before you sew the body. Now I have completed joining my shirts together, and this is what you should have. I'm not going to be able to show you guys how to add the buttons on the shirt, so I'm just going to do that off camera and show you what the finished look of the shirt is like. So this is the finished look. Yeah, if you need any more clarifications and have any more questions for me, please drop a comment below this video, and I'll make sure to answer all your questions. Thank you guys. Bye.